and welcome to Eat Well with Parkinson's. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Paula.
We're going to be your host today. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our amazing live audience guests who've come to join us today. Welcome. We love having you. Wow, it's great to be back.
I know, it's amazing. It's like I enjoy doing this, but then it's like, oh my God, when are we coming back? And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's ready. What is everything ready?
Yeah. Before we get started, I'd love to tell our audience watching us at home why we do this. Eat Well with Parkinson's came out of a program that Paula and I created together many years ago now. And the goal really was to provide nutritional information and easy, delicious, nutritious recipes to people living with Parkinson's disease. But really, the bottom line is these recipes and tips and tricks that Paula shares with us are really good for everybody, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so, because they're tasty and they're colorful. And I think those and they follow the Mediterranean diet and the Mind diet, and that's the diet that we all should be following.
And I can also tell from my experience, they are easy to make. I've made most of the recipes that we've made here at LTV Studios. So, Paula, get us started. What are we making today?
Okay, so today we are making a easy turkey skillet, which is going to be a turkey and summer seasonal vegetables. So we're going to use zucchini and yellow squash and cherry tomatoes. And we have a secret ingredient of pesto to kind of bring all the flavors together.
Sounds amazing. Should we get started?
Okay.
You want to take us through some of the information? So today we are going to talk a little bit about food apathy. Apathy is one of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, and it can result in decreased motivation or a feeling of not wanting to do things, and that can actually translate also to the food choices that people make. Do you want to talk a little bit about that before we get started cooking?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I worry about is food apathy causing weight loss or malnutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And my concern about that is because we have days when we just don't feel like doing anything, getting out of bed, being motivated. So the more you can involve your loved one, if you're the caregiver, in food prep, food shopping, just trying to keep them engaged and then have things that smell good, taste good to try and keep them eating. And we're going to serve in small bowls today because I want to show you it doesn't have to be huge meals. It just has to be meals that are satisfying, good sources of protein, and colorful fruits and vegetables.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so a few tips on tricks on how to stimulate appetite and make sure that we make good, healthy choices and get enough nutrition.
Yes, definitely. And I think part of the issue is when we look at, so what we're going to do is we have some red onion sauteing in the pan, and we're going to add some ground turkey.
Paul, why do you use the ground turkey?
Okay. So I use the ground turkey because we're all in a pursuit to lower the saturated fat intake in our diet. And when you talk to all doctors, heart disease, cardiologists, brain health, it's the whole goal is to try and reduce that saturated fat. So saturated fat is found in red meat. Okay. And if you're a lover of red meat, I would say maybe have it a portion every other week, but not on a regular basis. And I also find people are very sick of eating chicken all the time. Mm-hmm. So I like the ground turkey because I feel like the ground turkey really gives us the
flavor.
The flavor,
yeah.
But it also gives us it's very you can put spices in it, and it really really bumps up the flavors and stuff. So we're just going to cook this ground turkey a little bit. It's going a little slower than I want, so I'm going to.
Here, I can take this over if you want.
So we're going to do ground turkey. Like I said, we're going to just try and bump up those colors a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using some sliced zucchini and yellow squash. And we're also going to use some cherry tomatoes. So maybe we could cover it for a few minutes and put it on a little bit high.
Okay.
So one of the things I get concerned about too is that people are not they're not hungry in the afternoon. Sometimes they're not hungry because they're outside doing activities and things. So I really want to make things very easy. So Sarah, we always talk about what we're doing in the summer months.
Yeah.
We're going out, we might be doing something different. So what do you think is the most important thing when you're cooking in the summer?
Less time in the kitchen, so not using the oven, it gets hot, right? Mm-hmm. Quick and easy. And I also feel like living out here, we're so lucky to have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So trying to incorporate vegetables that maybe I don't use during other times of the year as well. Like I love the zucchini and the squash.
Yes.
excited to see that in the recipe today.
Yeah, and I also think this recipe is very versatile. If you have something in your refrigerator, like pieces of broccoli or cauliflower, when you cut it up fine, you can use that. I'm a lover of trying to get everyone to eat greens. Greens are very good for the brain. There's so much research out there on greens being good for the heart. I kind of say it's the new apple. The apple a day keeps the doctor away. I want to switch that to a healthy dose of greens. So whether you have a salad or you cook some spinach or some Brussels sprouts, or you even make a pesto. So we're going to use pesto as one of the main ingredients here for flavor. And the reason why I want to use the pesto is because I want to get that dose of greens and something, and we're going to just ups the flavor of this dish so much, but it also gives us that greens. In the summer, when there's bunches of basil that are available, I like to get a bunch of basil, and what I usually do is I make a portion of pesto to use throughout the week. It lasts a few days if you cover it with olive oil, so it kind of keeps that browning from not happening. And then I'll put it on my eggs. I'll put it on my, my dinners like this. If you're having a burger, or you're putting it part of a salad, or even in the winter months when I'm making chicken soup, I might put a dollop of it in the soup to give it a different taste.
And I will say to our viewers, we're not making the pesto on set today, but you can find all of our recipes online. There was a QR code in the credits, so you can use that. Find our website and access all of the recipes. And we made pesto last year, so you can access our pesto recipe.
Like I said, I use it year round. So sometimes you have to find one that you like in the store. So we have one that's available, but it's also very easy to make. Okay, so we're making the ground turkey. There's a little bit extra fat in it, so we're going to strain out the fat, and then after the turkey cooks, we're going to cook the vegetables. Okay. And this is about a 30-minute meal. So when Sarah was saying we're trying to move away or out of the kitchen in the summer, we're definitely not trying to use the oven. So this is great. It's a stovetop. It's a 30-minute meal, and it's easy, simple ingredients.
I love it.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about food apathy, because I'm really, like I said, I'm concerned about malnutrition and weight loss. So one of the things that we really find is that people don't have the same appetite and enthusiasm to eat sometimes. They don't have the interest in, having lots of meals. So I feel like if you go small, 4 to 6 small meals a day, sometimes that's better. And we're also going to build in that healthy dessert as well, because everyone wants dessert, everybody wants chocolate. I think that's part of it.
I love that.
Okay.
So this is coming along really nicely.
Okay.
And we sauteed the onions in advance, so they were cooked already. And the turkey is looking great.
Okay, so why don't we just, take that. If you could take, we can just put it on here.
Spoon it in.
Spoon it in here, but that would be great. So what we're going to do is we're also going to just, you're going to push it so you're not taking all the fat in it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to strain the fat out.
Gotcha.
Okay. And although this is a lesser amount of saturated fat, it's still good to try and get some of the meat juices out, because it is a little bit higher in the fat. Okay. Okay.
Do you need a little bowl for that?
We're not going to use it.
Yeah. You just okay.
I'm just going to dump it in the sink.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil to the pan. You can use avocado oil. That's another one of my favorite oils to use. Oh, I have an open one right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to saute the zucchini. We cut it nice and thin. So we're just going to...
It cooks easily that way.
It cooks really easily.
Fast.
We don't want to make it mushy. So we're just going to cook it from like 3 to 5 minutes, just a quick saute. And then this is one of those dishes that you could eat in a bowl plain. Yeah. Or you can put it on top of a quinoa or brown rice or even a pasta. So that's another great option. If you... just want to take this off. I hear it sizzling. I'm actually just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. Sometimes that helps with the cooking a little bit, the salt. Okay.
Paula, what are your go-to summer veggies? What are some of your favorites?
It's really interesting because I feel like they rotate a little bit. I'm a big lover of tomatoes, so I'm always waiting for tomatoes. Tomato season. But I also, sometimes we feel like sometimes people do better with less nightshades, and those are the tomatoes, avocados, peppers, eggplants. So I use tomatoes, but they're not, I don't make them all the time. But I also like the squashes because they're easy and they're light. And as you know, we made them last year into noodles. This is a quick saute.
I love it.
So I find that I like the onions. I like incorporating fruit in some dishes too, and we are so enamored with the fruits of the summer. So that's really
especially
good
in
too.
salads. I like to put peaches in salads and berries.
Okay, now we can lower it. Lower it. Okay. So do you shop? Where do you shop in the summer? Do you?
Oh, good question. Well, we have a CSA, which is amazing. I think it's
Can
a
you
gift.
explain what that is?
Sure, CSA. Do you remember what it stands for?
Yes, Community Supported Agriculture.
So I pay a certain amount to a local farm, and I am then very lucky to be able to receive a portion of what they grow every week. And my understanding of CSAs is that it takes the risk out of farming, or some of the risk out of farming for the farmers, because they have a set amount that they are receiving from all of their CSA shareholders. And then we get to benefit from having farm fresh fruits and vegetables, which is amazing.
And the good thing
And
about
sometimes
that
eggs.
is it's good because you get to taste things that you normally wouldn't eat.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
It definitely encourages you to be creative with new vegetables.
Okay. So this is our quick saute. We're going to put the tomatoes in. So the
Okay.
tomatoes we sliced in half. And this kind of develops that flavor if you're going to cook them a little bit because the tomato juices are going to come out a little bit. Of course, the magic of TV never cooks as quickly as you want it to.
Oh, it looks beautiful, Paula.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. If we can get a camera of this, I'm looking at the camera. That's the whole point. We're trying to make it as colorful as possible so people see it as eye appealing and you see that, say, hey, that looks pretty tasty, I want to eat it. Okay. So you're going to cook the tomatoes down a little bit to get them to cook, and then they're going to get a little the juice of the tomatoes in there, and then what we're going to do is add
The turkey back in.
Yeah.
Looks
Okay.
great.
Okay. What do you think of having people participate in the meal in terms of physical therapy and using your hands? Do you think that helps? What do you think?
I love that question. My first thought is there must be a benefit of participating in the food prep and the menu planning just because you can then choose the foods that you want to eat. And I also find being in the kitchen is an incredibly social activity. You can enjoy it and chop together and prepare it together. I'm sure there's certainly some fine motor skill benefit from some of the activities in the kitchen. I always think that when I'm making bread, actually.
Yes.
Or stirring if you're making a batter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know we've used a little bit of different, simple knife skills and things.
Yeah.
So I always and you said it's that buy-in of what are we making tonight? What's for dinner? It's very funny because I do a lot of nutrition counseling with patients with Parkinson's and other illnesses, and I find there's always one person that says, she's in charge of everything, and I don't worry about it. I'm like, but that's the point. You want to get them excited or get people interested because you want it to look good and taste good, and if you participate, hopefully
You'll enjoy it more.
you enjoy it more.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes a lot
So
of sense.
this is almost done. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add that magic ingredient of the pesto. So can you put
good.
that pesto in?
Yeah. Just on top?
No, it's the whole thing. So it's 3/4 cup pesto,
that's
and you're really going to cook
amazing.
it down, and you're going to taste, when you taste the pesto in this, you really taste the garlic and the basil. So pesto is great because it's really flavorful. And like I said, I use it in a lot of my different recipes. And you're going to just really cook this down, and then we'll have a chance to taste it and
taste
enjoy
it.
it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
great.
so we're going to just leave that. It's all cooked. Looks beautiful on the set as well. And then we're going to do a little switcheroo.
Also only on TV.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. And this is what it looks like all done. So we're going to be serving this up to our guests, because that's the benefit of coming, because you get to taste everything.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Paula, it looks beautiful.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to put this aside right now,
Okay.
because we're going to do our other
Switch to the
quick
sweet
dessert.
treat.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to need to switch to this spot right here. Okay. Okay. So one of the things we are asked all the time is, what can I eat in terms of sweets? People
And is sugar bad for us, right?
Well, sugar is inflammatory, especially a refined sugar. But unfortunately, everybody craves it. Everybody craves it, and they want a sweet treat. And they want a sweet treat at night. So we're trying to make something that tastes good, that's
Okay.
really easy to make, and that is few ingredients. So this is really quick recipe. We're taking the walnuts first. So this is walnuts. Walnuts are great for brain health. And you can see, and the reason why is nature intended that things that look like food items, like this looks like a brain.
It looks like a brain, yeah.
It's good for the brain. Okay, so we're just going to do these for a quick buzz in the food processor. Okay. And then we soaked some medjool dates. So medjool dates are, they're very sweet, and they're also really good in fiber, and they have a natural sweetness from the date sugar. So this is
Okay.
going to replace our refined sugar. Okay.
And you took the pips out, and
We took the pits out and
Yeah.
we soaked them in water, warm water
for how long?
for about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, just to
Just to
soften,
soften them a
to
little
soften
bit?
them up.
Okay.
Okay, we have that.
Like that.
And then the magic ingredient, any recipe, you put chocolate on it and it tastes great.
I agree.
So this is chocolate. Can you find a
spoon?
spatula from the drawer?
You got it.
Oh, yeah, the white one on the bottom there, the spatula, yeah. Okay. Okay. And we're just pulsing this up. Okay. I actually don't see my extra,
Plate?
no, my extra Okay, and that's all it is. It's just a quick whir of the blender. And then you're gonna have these fine, it's gonna be a little bit of nutty, and we're going to just roll them up. So
They're beautiful.
Yeah, if you
Let me
want.
grab you, well, here, we have this plate you can add too.
yeah, we could, so.
These are some that we made earlier.
Yeah, so these ones have the cacao powder in, so you're gonna take the extra cacao powder
Yeah.
and you're going to roll them in it, or you like them, or you can just eat them plain. So
Or
if you wanna,
coconut even?
yeah, you can put them, roll coconut, so you wanna just
These look
roll those
beautiful.
up for a few minutes. So the reason why I like
you.
this recipe is, one, it has some good fiber in it,
Yeah.
because it has the nuts in it. It also has omega-3 oils, which are great for anti-inflammation, and it has that bitterness of the cacao powder. So cacao powder is not like Hershey's chocolate syrup, but it's like a true powder of cacao, and it's bitter, and one of those we like to eat a lot of bitter things, because when we eat bitter things and we drink our coffee in the morning, we're getting bitters, and sometimes that helps tamp down some of the sweetness and the sweet desires. The only issue is that sometimes patients with Parkinson's disease have a low dopamine, and sometimes having a little bit of sugar, and a sugar rush helps bump that dopamine up a little bit. So that's why people sometimes crave the sugar and the sweets.
And this feels like a very healthy, sweet alternative.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to
It looks
taste it.
delicious.
Okay, and now the other thing to
This
think
is
about.
really fun.
Yeah, this is fun, and it's easy, and this could be one of your fine motor skills of
Totally.
rolling these balls together and stuff. So one of the things that I always wonder is, if I was given these, would you, maybe we have to taste the turkey first, but my
Yeah.
question is, when I think of this type of thing, I'm wondering, is this something that could replace a chocolate bar? Okay, because we all have our favorite chocolate bars that
Yeah.
we grew up and we eat all the time. So is this something that you'd be very satisfied with to replace the chocolate bar? Because that's
Yeah.
the concern. It's kind of like, okay, I'll eat these, but I still want my own
But I
things.
still want the
Yeah.
candy or the
Yeah,
sweets.
and
yeah.
I think the other part about it is, we talk
That's
about
beautiful.
nutrition and wanting to eat healthy, and it's like almost when people see me sometimes, they think of me as the food police, that here she's coming, let me taste this or not, So I feel like people think it has to be like 100%.
Right.
Of our intake and stuff. And I feel like that's really a shame because we want you to live your life and we want you to enjoy your chocolate bar. We just want to have enough alternatives that you can kind of say, hey, this tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
This might match it. So that's why I would love, I want your family to try these things maybe when you have a holiday or maybe when you have the grandkids coming over or the children coming over.
Yeah.
You try out these things and say, hey, this is a pretty good alternative because sometimes when we go with the chocolate bars, for example, or we go with the candy that we grew up with or something. When we look at the ingredients, there's so many ingredients, and they're ingredients we can't pronounce. Okay, so when I have this recipe and there's 3 ingredients, you know everything that's going into it.
Yeah.
Do you read labels when you
I do,
buy
and
chocolate?
I'm pretty strict about sugar. I really try, although my girls tease me because I say that and then I have a weakness for ice cream. But I try not to eat refined sugar, so this recipe is right up my alley. I'm so excited to try it.
All right, so let's try. We have
Should we plate some of the turkey skillet?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So again, the reason why we like this turkey dish is because it's simple and easy to make. And this might be something that might be satisfying for you, or it might be something that you want to put on top of a pasta, or even it would be great on top of like greens, like some spinach or something, cooked spinach, yeah. And maybe put a little cheese on it just for a little bit of that salty flavor without adding a lot of salt.
This is Parmesan?
Parmesan, yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, it looks so good.
Okay, let's
Thank
taste
you, Paula.
That's good.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I kind of make this
And
recipe
so
like
easy.
once a week with different vegetables, whatever's in the fridge. Like this week I had cauliflower and I had some asparagus left over. So I can make it with anything.
Good.
Great. I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you.
Okay. And now this is the moment of truth. We have someone that likes chocolate, so let's see if she likes
All right,
this.
I'm going for one that's rolled in the cacao.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay, so now the question is, would this take your place of your favorite chocolate bar?
100% for me. For my girls, I'm not so sure.
Okay. And then the other
They
thing
might be a
is,
harder
I
sell.
guess the other thing, when you eat something like this and it's so such a punch of cacao and chocolate, can you have just one or maybe one or two,
It's delicious, Paula.
Yeah, so this
Thank you.
recipe makes about 15 balls.
So good.
You can definitely make this, keep them in the refrigerator, and when you have that snack attack or something. And it has the omega oils in it, it has the fiber in it. So this is something that could be that like afternoon snack or even the nighttime snack.
So good. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. Just a reminder to everybody who's watching, you can access all of the nutritional information, recipes on our website, QR codes in the credits. Join us in 2 months. We'll be back. We have 2 new, easy, delicious, nutritious recipes to share with you and some more important nutritional information. And until then,
You know what we like to say.
eating well tastes great. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.